Lavanya, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to show you guys a really cool summer arts and crafts project. It's this beautiful rose flower basket made out of polymer clay. And polymer clay is super easy to work with. It's easy to find it pretty much anywhere. Michaels, Amazon, Joann Fabrics. I got mine at Joann Fabrics and I'm going to link all of those down below. And the tools are very simple. I pretty much just used this nail dotting tool, and you can pretty much use a pencil, pen, anything pointy. And then also I use this plastic butter knife looking thing. You can pretty much use anything you find around the house. So I really encourage you guys to try this out. These are really cool decors for your desk or magnets or jewelry. You can pretty much turn it into anything. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below what you think, or if you have any suggestions for me for future videos, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification right next to it. All right, now let's get to it. So first we're going to take some metallic gold polymer clay, cut a small piece of it. Look how shiny it is. Okay, so I'm just going to massage this clay a little bit to make it soft and easier to work with. And then I'm going to split that into two pieces. So we're going to take each piece and roll it so that we make a long thin tube out of it. So just keep rolling. Once it gets large enough, just focus on the parts that are wider than the rest of it, and then focus on those and roll them. Okay, now we have two of these pieces. We're gonna join them together, and then we're going to start twisting. So I'm doing this by holding the middle of the tube and twisting the ends. And in general, a good tip for polymer clay is to touch the clay as less as possible. So in this step, it's best to just put it against some sort of surface that you're working with and just use two fingers to make the twists, and make sure it's evenly twisted. Okay, now we're going to make one of the ends really flat. This is going to be the base of our basket. And we're going to make a circle out of the twist. One circle and then a second circle. Okay, now that we loop this twice, we're gonna take the third loop right on top of the second loop. So this is gonna bring our basket some height. And then the fourth loop also goes right above the third loop. Now I'm just gonna take my little tool, it can be a pencil, whatever you want, and just smooth out the edges. Here's our basket. Okay, now we're gonna take some red polymer clay, and I'm just gonna make a little sort of tube out of it so that we can easily cut small pieces. I'm gonna cut 6 for 6 petals of a rose, and I'm just gonna flatten it by patting it down on my working surface. Now I'm gonna take the smallest petal, working my way up to the largest petal, and just sort of overlap them in a line like this. Okay, now watch closely. I'm going to start twisting from the smallest petal up to the largest one. And this is going to create that nice rose shape with each petal overlapping another petal and also just coming outside. So just adjust those a little bit. And here we have our polymer clay rose. Okay, so now I'm going to take some green clay and make tiny balls out of that. I'm going to flatten it a little bit and then just twist one of the edges inwards like that. So that looks like a leaf. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more gold or beige clay and fill in the basket. And the reason for this is that when we put our flowers and leaves in, we want them to be at the top of the basket. We don't want them to sink all the way to the bottom. Now I'm just going to smooth out the petals over the basket to make sure that it stays stuck to it. Now take your leaves and also fill in the basket with leaves in between the flowers. Here you have it, our very own clay flower basket. Okay, now for the smaller flower basket and a slight variation. For this, I'm actually mixing my gold clay with some white clay to make sort of a lighter beige color, just so that it contrasts with the flower a little bit more. So I'm just gonna blend that in really well. And here I'm taking a small piece, about that big, flattening that on my surface. Make sure the middle of it is thicker than the edges, so just thin out the edges. And then I'm going to make another long tube as we saw earlier, fold that in half and start twisting. So you want this piece of clay to be long enough that you can wrap it all the way around the circle we just made. And I'm going to make it very tightly bound. Okay, so now just sort of overlay it all the way around the circle, cut off any excess, and that's our base. Okay, so now I'm going to take some red clay, make a very small and thin tube out of it, flatten it against the surface, and start rolling it. So it's very easy, just takes a little bit of practice, but it's a very simple technique. We're just sort of rolling it. And since it's so small, it looks like a really cute flower. So we're gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna pick up the clay and start rolling it. And of course, the larger you make the flower, the easier it's gonna be to do this. I just like really tiny pieces. Okay, so we're gonna make 3 of those and overlay that on top of the base that we just made. Make sure they're evenly spaced. And we're gonna make tiny, tiny leaves. Same technique as we saw before, honestly just smaller. And we're gonna put that in between each flower, smooth it down to the base so it sticks well to it. Okay, so I love making everything into earrings, so here we go. I'm gonna take an eye pin and just pick a spot where I think it looks symmetric and just stick in the eye pin. I'm gonna make a second one of these because I need a pair of earrings and attach it to fishhook. So if you want more instructions on how exactly to do this, I'm gonna link down below my DIY earring video, so check that out. Finally, bake this clay for 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes, or whatever it says on your box. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Make sure to comment down below and let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more DIY art projects like this. And I'll see you guys next time.